What's going on, lads? It's Billy the Kid here and I hope you're having a great day, and thank you for joining me for today's video. Now today's video is going to be my review of Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, which recently came out for the PS3, PS4 and the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One. Now before I start today's review, I have to give a massive thank you and a shout out to Josh Hawkins, aka that guy named Rage, for providing me with the footage of Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes that you're going to be watching in this review. I personally right now can't record any footage on my PS4. I don't have a recording device for it like an Elgato, so I really do have to give a massive shout out and thanks to Josh for providing me with the footage, and I'll leave his channel in the description below, lads. I really do hope that all of you go out and check out his channel. Now for this review I'm going to split up the review into two parts, my good points and my bad points. And as a massive Metal Gear Solid fan, I'm going to start off with my good points. So where does Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes do well? First off, the gameplay is excellent. I've never had as much fun in a Metal Gear Solid title as Ground Zeroes in terms of the gameplay. There's so much you can do. The graphics are great, the map and the environment look really well designed. The Fox engine has really shown what it's capable of doing in Ground Zeroes, and that has me more excited than ever for Phantom Pain. The fact that when you get spotted by a guard, you'll go into sort of reflex mode, and depending on what mission you're playing, if you're playing the main campaign mission when it's raining, when you're going into reflex mode, which slows down the gameplay, the little drops of rain become highly visible, and that really does create a very interesting effect. The AI for the enemies is beyond anything I've seen before in a Metal Gear Solid title. Their thought process in patrolling, investigating suspicious activity, engaging in combat and so forth has been greatly enhanced when compared with previous installments. The freedom to choose your own route in the map and to interact with so many things to help your infiltration is really interesting to me personally. For example, in the campaign mission, you need to infiltrate an administration building to rescue a hostage. However, this building has a lot of security, guards patrolling, surveillance cameras, etc. Now if the player wishes, they can sneak into a generator room and shut the power off to aid in their infiltration. However, this will get the attention of the guards, who will come back to restore the power, so the player needs to move fast to make their infiltration. The fact that your actions will have consequences when you're playing the game opens up so many different scenarios that help the game get a few more hours of replayability. Now unfortunately that ends the only good points, and unfortunately there are a few bad points with Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. The length of the single player campaign. This is the elephant in the room that everybody's been talking about. Even as a die-hard Metal Gear Solid fan like myself, who has played the series since 1998, I am disappointed that this prologue was not simply introduced to players with Metal Gear Solid The Phantom Pain, much like the tanker chapter was in Metal Gear Solid 2. I passed the prologue in about an hour and a half, after which you can either play the extra ops, which there are 4 extra missions, and then you can complete those in around 20 to 30 minutes each, and then there's the exclusive mission that comes for each platform. The PS3, PS4 version is the Deja Vu mission, and the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One exclusive mission is the Jamis Vu mission. Now both are a little bit longer if you look for all the hidden Easter eggs and the little segments in those missions, so they'll maybe get you another 40 minutes of gameplay. And that's pretty much it. One gameplay mechanic I am disappointed about is the regenerating health. Now I personally would love to see the return of rations to regenerate your health. The fact that if you get wounded in combat and if you're really low on health and you have no rations left, you have to go around everywhere to try and find a ration to heal yourself or you're dead. I don't really like this whole regenerate your health if you just wait for a few seconds so your bloody screen returns to normal thing. I really don't like that, but I guess it's just one of those things that has come into gaming more and more often and now has come into Metal Gear Solid. But for me personally, I would love to see the return of rations so you can regenerate your health. Also, the fact that there is no boss battle in Ground Zeroes has also disappointed me. Even if there was like a small little segment where you had to battle enemy soldiers, that would have satisfied me, but sadly this is not to be. That was one big thing for Metal Gear Solid. Each Metal Gear Solid had their own unique boss battles, and sadly there is not one in Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. There's even segments near the end of the campaign where I thought, yes, now I'm going to gain control and take a part in this massive battle, but sadly it was just a cutscene, and I was very disappointed with that. There was certain scenes in this game where I wish I was actually in control rather than just a bystander watching, but sadly that is the case. Another bad point to bring to light is the lack of a backstory for new players. At the main menu you're given a basic backstory of where the story is so far, and are given access to cassette tapes that provide you a little bit more information with the current events of the story. But this, I feel, is not simply enough to engage new players to the series. Even though we see the return of many characters from the previous installment, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, there's not enough time to develop any sort of understanding or connection with them for new players to the series. This essentially tells new players, go buy Metal Gear Solid the HD collection and play Peace Walker to get the full story. And that has to be a bad point. After buying one game, you're basically told to go buy another game to get a proper sense of the story for Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. One final bad point for me personally is Kiefer Sutherland being the new voice actor for Big Boss. Kiefer Sutherland replaced David Hayter, who has been the main voice actor for both Solid Snake and Big Boss in the Metal Gear Solid series since 1998. Now, Hideo Kojima has stated in multiple interviews that he decided to get a new voice actor for Big Boss in order to show the change in characters since Peace Walker. Big Boss has now come to terms of who he is and what he's done in his life, and has chosen to live and fight as a free man. After hearing Sutherland's performance of Big Boss in Ground Zeroes, I can understand what Kojima wanted to do. He wants to show fans that Big Boss has changed since we last saw him in Peace Walker. However, after watching a few seasons of 24, all I could think about when Big Boss was yelling and screaming in several cutscenes was, it's Jack Bauer. One good point I will say is the face capture and motion capture are really superb. I've never seen anything like it so far in a video game. To summarise the review, I believe that if you're not a Metal Gear Solid fan, you should not buy this game. Rent it out instead and see how you like it. If you're a long-time Metal Gear Solid fan like me, and you have not picked up this title yet, I would advise not to pick it up at full price. Wait until the price goes down, or wait for Phantom Pain to come out and get both together in a bundle pack. Do I feel ripped off? No. My opinion on games is if you enjoy the game you're playing, it's worth the money you paid for it. It's as simple as that. Is Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes essentially a demo for Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain? Yes. Both Kojima and Konami have previously stated that this is their intention. Their intention is to bring new fans into the Metal Gear series and to Metal Gear Solid The Phantom Pain. In the end, since picking up Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, I have enjoyed it very much, I am continuing to enjoy it, and I will likely to continue to enjoy it in the weeks and months to come, until Metal Gear Solid The Phantom Pain arrives, and that's when we really do see the full potential of the Fox engine and Metal Gear Solid The Phantom Pain. So lads, that concludes my review of Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have picked up this game, leave your feedback down in the comment section down below. Make sure you go out and check out Josh's channel in the description below. Subscribe for more if you're new, and I'll see you again lads, and thank you again for watching.